All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 206 of Psycho's Platters. Always powered by coffee, each and every time. That is a damn fact. So, I know you're asking yourself here, what's Mighty Psycho going off and going to do today? I threw a curveball at you, kids. I can't pass this up. This is going to be a review episode for the new Foo Fighters Concrete and Gold. Yes, the new Concrete and Gold album. Man, oh man, what a thing here. What an album. Let's get into this, shall we? Concrete and Gold, of course, came out September 15th, this past Friday here in 2017. It was recorded December 2016 through May of 2017. It's their 9th studio album. The first single off of it, Run, came out June 1st of 17, followed by the second single, Sky is a Neighborhood, came out August 23rd of this year as well. So let's get into this. The meat, the potatoes of the story here, or the original concept for this album was actually creating a studio. Oh, by the way, the sources for all these things today we're going to talk about, it's a combination of things. It's Wikipedia.com, FooFighters.com, consequenceofsound.com, and Vulture.com. Bunch of different things today. So the original concept for this album was creating a studio on Hollywood Bowls Amphitheater, the famous Hollywood Bowl out in California. And the band wanted to record a whole album live in front of 20,000 people. But when Dave Grohl found out that PJ Harvey did it in 2015 for Hope 6 Demolition Project, he lost interest. Well, then there was delays for the album. It started to happen with various delays from the tour of Sonic Highways when Dave Grohl, of course, fell off the stage and broke his leg in June 2015 in Sweden. He still completed the damn tour date, though. What a rock trooper. What a rock trooper. I've always liked Dave Grohl, but that just threw an extra element to him. An extra element of coolness. But still, he toured, and of course, they even released the Cecilia EP, which I actually heard that in 2015. That was actually pretty decent, too. In early 2016, though, the band went off on hiatus, was declared indefinite. Grohl in an interview went off and said he wanted a year away from music to heal basically from his injuries. Well, he got 6 months because that's when Run ended up in his head, and so he started working on that project as well. He originally worked solo on the Concrete and Gold project, for the workings of it, but then, of course, brought the band in shortly thereafter. He also brought in Greg Kurstin to produce. He previously produced for Sia, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Beck, Pink, Shins, and other bands as well. Taylor Hawkins described it as their most psychedelic and weird sounding. You know what? That might be the case. I don't know about weird sounding. I do hear the psychedelic stuff in here. Some things I jotted here. Songs about humanity, political and environmental in nature are present here in the album. Also, according to Consequence of Sound, said Grohl wasn't kidding when he called it Motorhead. Motorhead's version of Sgt. Pepper or Slayer making pet sounds. Now just think about that for a second in your head. Think about either of those ideas in your head. Kind of out there, isn't it? But you know what? I get where they're going. Now this thing, though, I have a question here. Vulture.com calls the Foo Fighters resistance rock. I don't get it. I don't understand that concept, guys. Maybe it's because I'm almost 50 years old. I don't know. I do not understand what resistance rock is. If that's a movement, so help me. But let me tell you this, though. Some of the influences that I've heard on this album, and I'll give you the track listing real quick, okay? T-Shirt, Run, Make It Right, The Sky's the Neighborhood, La-Di-Da, Dirty Water, Arrows, Happy Ever After, 23rd Hour, Sunday Rain, The the line, and Concrete and Gold. This here, of course, like I said, this is a CD. This is the front. This is the back. Let me show you here. This does have a nice lyric booklet, basically with sketches of the band. There's Dave and others here. Trying to see if there's a nice band photo. No. But like I said, so there's your lyric booklet on this. So I picked this up at Walmart, believe it or not, for $9. I did. But so some of the influences that I've heard so far, I actually do hear 70s Deep Purple. I do. I guess I hear a little bit of Zeppelin too. A little bit of Who. One of the songs towards the back end of the album, I have to apologize, I can't remember which one, but it kind of almost had a John Lennon Cold Turkey feeling to it. And then Concrete and Gold itself, I definitely could hear Pink Floyd-ish elements of like Wish You Were Here and some Dark Side of the Moon type stuff on that last one. You know, I've been a fan of the Foos, seriously. I wrote this down here because my memory gets a little bit weird, but like I said, I got to confess, you know, I didn't get into the Foo Fighters until Color and Shape in '97, but I'm glad I did. You know, I mean, you know, stuff like Big Me, My Hero, Learn to Fly, Times Like These, Everlong, Best of You, Pretender, all that stuff. They're all kick-ass songs of the past of Foo. Some of the facts I did find out. The Sky is a Neighborhood, supposedly based after watching a Neil deGrasse Tyson YouTube video. I'm going to have to look and see what that's all about. Dirty Water, parts of it is about the Flint water crisis. Some of the guest appearances on this album. I know there was a lot of speculation until this came out. Who were we talking about that was going to be on this thing? Well, Justin Timberlake does end up on Make It Right. He does background vocals. Sean Stockman from Boyz II Men. He's on Concrete and Gold. Inara George. Now, if that name don't sound familiar to you, that's okay, because it didn't for me either. But she does happen to be a member of From Birds and Bees, which is also where our little producer, Greg, comes from. Alison Mosshart from The Kills and Dead Weather. She ends up doing vocals on La Di Da and Sky's the Neighborhood. Dave Coase, yes, famous jazz sessioneer saxophonist, ends up doing sax on La Di Da. And kind of the surprise of the album, but not really a surprise, Paul McCartney does drums on Sunday Rain. Yeah, you know, and that one, you know, it's kind of strange. You can actually tell it's McCartney. Doing drums on that. I can't explain exactly how I knew before I knew that was the song, because I heard the whole album before I started looking up the credits and things. So I just could tell it had that kind of feel to it. So let's see here. Also, Run topped the Billboard Mainstream Rock Song chart with #1 in July of 2017, and Sky, U.S. Mainstream Billboard number 13 and #2 on the UK Rock and Metal chart. So I know you're asking me after almost 9 minutes, Mighty Psycho, will you shut the hell up and tell us if this album is worth getting? Yeah, it is worth getting, because I'm going to tell you something. I know, I can't remember what article, maybe it was Rolling Stone, maybe it was Consequence of Sound, went off and brought up that people didn't hear a single. Well, I don't know what the hell they're talking about, because personally, I could see Run and Sky is a Neighborhood, to me, were the singles. Make It Right's a really cool one too. I like Concrete and Gold. I like all those. Those are my favorite, actually. Was Run, Sky's a Neighborhood, Make It Right, and Concrete and Gold. Although I did enjoy the album very well. Is it a great album? I don't know if I want to go that far on it. I really don't. Saying that, Foo Fighters has always been a guilty pleasure. guilty pleasure of a band for me. There's not a lot of 90s bands and early O's bands that I really take a great liking to. Dave Grohl, though, on the other hand, I know I'm going to sound like a fanboy, but I've always liked what he's done with Foos. And same thing for Jack White, with the White Stripes and Dead Weather and all the other bands that he's done, and even this solo stuff. Those two seem to carry on. They get the spirit of rock, and they continue it into the 21st century. Go get this album. Is it a stretch for me to tell you it's a feel-good Foos album? This grows on you. You will enjoy it. You will definitely enjoy this album. I'm not going to call it a great album, but damn it, you're going to love it. I will say that, okay? So that's my recommendation for you. And you know what I'd like you to do too? Like and sub Psycho's Platters, because there's going to be a lot more new music reviews. There will be. I'm always going to be honest with you and shoot straight, and I always mention my sources that I get. And in the comments below, if you're a Foo Fighters fan, tell me what's your favorite song or album from the band. And if you're not a Foo Fighters fan, tell me what current band you do actually enjoy, because I'd be curious about that too. Because Mighty Psyko always likes to try to learn other bands. All right, I know Foo Fighters is 20, almost 23 years old. I'm not, God, how do I say this? This is going to get me in hot water, but I don't care. The Foo Fighters were the best thing to come out of the murder of Kurt Cobain. Yeah, I said murder, because, yeah. But I know that was probably tasteless, but listen to what I said and see if you agree, because the Foo Fighters are a hell of a band. They are. And, I just, the songs make your blood pump. They do. They make you feel. And I think that's what any rock band is supposed to really do, isn't it? Isn't it? So put your favorite Foo Fighters song down here. And whether you agree or disagree with my view, that's perfectly fine too. But like and sub, please. Future new review episodes I will be doing. Yes, I was supposed to do a Greg Allman. I'm planning on doing the new Greg Allman Southern Blood album. I'm also going to do the new old Neil Young album as well that's come out, and all that. So take care. God bless. Rock on. And definitely run to get this. See what I did? All right. Have a good one, guys.